Let me ask you a question before I begin. What if the very thing you are adding to your soil is quietly destroying it? What if the reason your plants are slow, weak, or unproductive has nothing to do with how much you plant, but everything to do with what is happening beneath the surface? I remember walking onto a piece of land years ago. At first glance, it looked like it should have been productive. Plenty of space, good sunlight, even a history of planting. But something was off. The plants were there, but they looked tired. Leaves were pale. Growth was uneven. Nothing had that strong, steady look you expect from healthy soil. So I knelt down, grabbed a handful of that dirt, and right there, I could tell. The soil was not alive. It was dry in a strange way, not just lacking water, but lacking life. And that is when an older farmer standing nearby said something I never forgot. Dead soil grows weak food, and weak food builds weak people. That hit me, because we do not talk about this enough. There are things people do every single season, thinking they are helping, but those same things are slowly breaking down the very system that produces their food. Healthy soil, wealthy foods, health, strength, stability. Now here is something most people do not realize. Soil can be damaged, not just physically, but biologically, chemically, even structurally. And once that damage begins, everything slows down. Growth slows, production drops, plants become more vulnerable, and over time, what used to produce barely survives. Now let me ask you something simple. Have you ever had a garden that just did not perform the way you expected? Same effort, same time, but the results just were not there. Drop that in the comments. Because more often than not, the issue is not the plant, it is what is happening in the soil. Now let us talk about one of the biggest silent problems: overuse of synthetic chemicals. Now I am not here to attack anything, but I am here to tell you the truth. When chemicals are used heavily, especially without understanding the soil, they do not just feed plants, they disrupt life. You see, soil is not just a place to hold roots. It is full of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, organisms working together to break down nutrients and make them available to plants. That's how healthy soil functions. But when strong chemicals are added over and over again, that delicate system begins to break. Microbial life decreases. Balance is lost. The soil becomes dependent instead of productive. And here is the part most people miss. At first, things may actually look good. Fast growth, big leaves, quick results. But over time, that system weakens. And what you are left with is soil that needs more and more input, just to produce less and less. That is not abundance, that is dependency. Now let us take it a step further, because some of these practices do not just affect the soil, they can affect the food and the people eating it. Because when soil health declines, nutrient density in food can decline as well. And when food loses strength, the people relying on that food lose something too. That is why this matters. This is not just about plants. This is about health. This is about family. This is about long-term stability. Now we are just getting started, because chemicals are only one part of the problem. There are other things. Common, everyday practices that quietly damage soil, slow growth, and reduce production. And once you see them, you will never look at your garden the same way again. And one of the most common things I see, something so many people do without thinking, is how they handle the soil itself. Compaction. Now it does not sound like much at first, but compacted soil is one of the fastest ways to slow down growth, reduce production, and quietly weaken everything you are trying to build. I have seen it happen over and over again. People walk through their garden beds constantly. They use heavy equipment. They till when the soil is too wet, and slowly, over time, the soil tightens, loses its structure, it stops breathing. Now here is the part most people do not see. Roots need air. Not just water, not just nutrients, air. And when soil becomes compacted, that airspace disappears. Water does not move properly. Roots struggle to expand. Microbial life begins to decline. And once that happens, everything slows down. Plants do not explode with growth anymore. They hesitate. They struggle. They survive. But they do not thrive. Healthy soil, wealthy foods, health, strength, stability. Now let me give you a simple picture. Take two garden beds. One is loose, rich, with organic matter, full of life. The other is hard, packed down, lifeless, beneath the surface. Plant the same crop in both, and watch what happens. In the first bed, roots spread freely, water moves properly, life supports the plant, growth is steady, strong, confident. But in the second bed, roots hit resistance, water sits or runs off. The plant works harder just to survive. Same seed, different soil, different outcome. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever dug into your soil and felt it hard, almost like pushing into concrete? That is not just inconvenience. That is a signal. Your soil is telling you something. Now here is another issue that often comes right alongside compaction: overwatering. Now this one surprises people, because they think more water means more growth. But too much water, especially in soil that does not drain well, creates a different kind of problem. It pushes out oxygen. It drowns the root zone. And when roots cannot breathe, in some cases, they begin to rot. Now think about that. You are trying to help your plant, but instead, you are creating conditions that slow it down. That is how easy it is to move in the wrong direction without realizing it. Now I want you to picture this again. Two growers. One waters constantly, thinking more is better. The other watches the soil, understands moisture, waters with intention. Over time, one sees slow, inconsistent growth. The other sees steady, healthy development. Same effort, different understanding. Now here is something else that damages soil, and most people never think about it. Leaving the soil bare, exposed, no cover, no protection. When soil is left uncovered, the sun beats down on it. Moisture evaporates quickly. Microbial life gets stressed. And over time, that living layer begins to disappear. But cover that same soil with mulch, with plants, with organic material, and everything changes. Moisture is retained. Temperature is regulated. Life is protected. That is how soil stays active. That is how it continues to produce. Because healthy soil is not exposed. It is covered, protected, alive. Now we are starting to see a pattern here. It is not just one thing that damages soil, it is a series of small habits, things people do without realizing the long-term impact. And when those habits stack up, growth slows, production drops, and frustration sets in. But once you begin to understand these patterns, you can reverse them. Because what damages soil can also be corrected. And in the next part, we are going to go even deeper, because there are a few more hidden practices that do not just slow growth, they can completely stop productivity if left unchecked. And this is where things begin to get even more serious. Because some of the practices I am about to share with you do not just slow your garden down, they can bring productivity to a complete stop. Now I remember another piece of land I walked onto. At first glance, it looked clean, too clean. No weeds, no cover, nothing out of place. But something did not feel right. The soil was exposed, pale, almost lifeless. And when I dug into it, there were almost no earthworms. Now if you have been around soil long enough, you know that is a warning sign. Because earthworms are one of the clearest indicators of living soil. And when they are gone, something has gone wrong. Now here is one of the biggest causes of that kind of damage: over-tilling. Now tilling has its place, but too much of it, too often, destroys the structure of the soil. It breaks apart the natural networks, especially fungal networks, that help move nutrients through the soil. It exposes microorganisms to sunlight and air in a way they are not designed to handle. And over time, it turns living soil into something that behaves more like dust. Now think about that. You are trying to prepare the soil, but instead, you are tearing apart the very system that makes it productive. Healthy soil, wealthy foods, health, strength, stability. Now let us take this one step further, because there is something else that quietly drains the life out of soil, and most people do not even realize they are doing it. Growing the same crop, in the same place, over and over again. This is called monocropping. Now it may seem simple. Plant what you like, where you planted it last year. But here is the problem. Each plant pulls specific nutrients from the soil, and when you grow the same crop repeatedly, you drain those same nutrients, again and again, at the same time. Certain pests and diseases begin to build up in that exact location, because you are giving them the same target, season after season. And before long, your plants are weaker, your soil is depleted, and your harvest begins to shrink. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever planted the same crop in the same spot and noticed it did not do as well the next year? That is not random. That is the soil responding. Now there is another factor here that people often overlook. Organic matter. Now this one is huge, because organic matter is what feeds the soil life. It is what holds moisture. It is what builds structure. Without it, soil becomes hard, dry, unresponsive. And when soil becomes unresponsive, plants struggle to get what they need. Now think about a forest for a moment. No one is out there fertilizing it. No one is tilling it. And yet, it thrives. Why? Its organic matter is constantly being added. Leaves fall. Branches break down. Life feeds life. That is the system we are trying to learn from. Not control, but understand. Now when you combine all of these issues, overtilling, monocropping, low organic matter, compaction, overwatering, chemical imbalance, you begin to see why so many gardens struggle. It is not one big mistake, it is a series of small ones, but here is the good news. Once you see them, you can change them, because soil is incredibly forgiving when you start treating it right. Now we are coming into the final part of this, because understanding what harms your soil is only half the story. What matters most is what you do next, and how you turn that knowledge into something that produces real results. And this is where everything begins to turn, because once you understand what has been damaging your soil, you now have the power to rebuild it, not overnight, but steadily. And steady is what creates real abundance. Now let us bring everything back together for a moment. We have seen how soil can be harmed. Too many synthetic inputs, compaction, overwatering, leaving soil bare, overtilling, planting the same crops repeatedly, ignoring organic matter, each one chipping away at the life beneath your feet. But here is the truth most people never hear. Soil wants to recover. It wants to come back to life. You just have to give it the right conditions. Healthy soil, wealthy foods, health, strength, stability. Now imagine two people again. Same land, same starting point. The first person keeps doing what they have always done. They till every season, leave the soil exposed, add more inputs when things go wrong, plant the same crops in the same place, and year after year, things do not improve. In fact, they slowly get worse. More effort, less return. Now the second person learns something different. They stop fighting the soil and start working with it. They begin adding organic matter, compost, mulch, natural materials. They reduce how often they disturb the soil. They cover it, protect it, keep it alive. They rotate crops, give the soil a chance to recover, and they pay attention. They observe, they adjust. And over time, something begins to change. The soil softens, earthworms return, moisture holds longer, plants grow stronger, without being forced. And then comes the moment every grower remembers. The harvest shifts, not just slightly, but noticeably. More food, better quality, more consistency, and that is when it clicks. It was never about doing more, it was about doing things differently. Now let me ask you something before we close this out. What is one thing you have been doing in your garden that you might need to change? Drop it in the comments, because awareness is the first step toward transformation. And once you start seeing your soil differently, you start treating it differently. Now I want to leave you with this. The soil beneath your feet is not just a surface to plant in. It is a living system, and like anything living, it can be damaged, or it can be nurtured. One path leads to struggle, the other leads to abundance, and the choice is made in small decisions, day after day, season after season, because when you protect the soil provides. When you build life beneath the surface, life rises above it, and when knowledge meets living soil, abundance appears. So wherever you are, right now, whether your soil is strong or struggling, do not lose sight of what is possible, because even damaged soil can come back to life. And when it does, it will not just grow plants, it will begin to grow something much greater: health, strength, and stability for you and your family. And before we close this out completely, there is one more thing you need to see clearly. Because everything we have talked about, what damages the soil, what slows growth, what reduces production, it all comes down to one simple truth. Every action in your garden is either building life or breaking it down. There is no neutral. Now I want you to picture something one last time. Two people, same neighborhood, same climate, same type of soil. The first person does not think much about the soil itself. They focus only on what they can see above the ground. If plants struggle, they add more fertilizer. If weeds show up, they remove everything and leave the soil bare. If growth slows, they till again and again, trying to fix it. Season after season, they work harder, but the results never seem to match the effort. The soil becomes tighter, weaker, less responsive. Native 4. Production drops. Food becomes less reliable, and the garden begins to feel like a burden instead of a blessing. Now the second person. They begin to understand something deeper. They realize the real work is not just above the ground. It is beneath it. So they start making different choices. They protect the soil with cover. They feed it with organic matter. They disturb it less and observe more. They rotate crops and pay attention to patterns. They do not rush. They build, and over time, the difference becomes undeniable. Their soil becomes darker, softer, full of life. Their plants grow with strength, not struggle. Their harvest becomes consistent, reliable, abundant. And here is where it all connects. That abundance begins to show up beyond the garden. Grocery bills begin to shrink. Meals become more nourishing. There is more confidence in what they can provide. That is what wealthy food looks like. Not just food on the table, but stability in your life. Healthy soil, wealthy foods, health, strength, stability. Now here is the part most people miss. The damage we talked about earlier. It does not just affect the soil. It can affect people, because when soil is depleted, food loses strength. And when food loses strength, the body does not receive what it truly needs. That is why this matters so much. This is not just gardening. This is about protecting your health, your family, your future. So the next time you step into your garden, I want you to look at it differently. Do not just see plants. See the system. See the life beneath the surface. And ask yourself one simple question. Am I building this soil or slowly breaking it down? Because the answer to that question will shape everything that grows from it. And the truth is, the soil beneath your feet may hold more responsibility and more opportunity than you ever imagined. Remember, wealthy foods lead to health, strength, and peace of mind. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe for more practical wisdom and simple methods to help you grow abundance right where you are. Until next time, keep growing.